This is Trading Fives. I want to look at a couple emerging markets for an interesting pairs trade possibility. And the first one we're going to look at is Brazil, EWZ. And we can see that Brazil is trading below the cloud and currently at the bottom of the trading range with a negative 534 oscillator. Let's look at the Trading Fives oscillator chart. And we'll just throw in EWZ, click go. We'll look at the weekly, and we can see that EWZ, the Brazil ETF, made a weekly high back in February, and although it's been in the oscillator bear oversold zone for several weeks, it still continues to make lower lows. So let's look at the daily. The daily appears to have made a daily high yesterday. It's currently in the overbought zone and in the process of making a bearish reversal if indeed it trades about the same as it is now for today and tomorrow. It will make a bearish reversal. So EWZ looks ready to cook for an additional downside move. And if we take a quick look at the Ichimoku, we can see that Brazil is just breaking below the cloud, which is in itself a bearish signal. So I think for EWZ, I'm going to be looking at the intraday charts for an entry opportunity, either on the hourly or the 15-minute or so, to try and catch a high oscillator to take a position or a low-risk position for an EWZ short. The other market we want to look at is Mexico, which is EWW. And we can see that Mexico is almost exactly the opposite. It's making a push against the high end of the range. The PMO is still rising, the oscillator is still rising, and it's been on a pretty good run with a lot of buying. We can tell that by the volume waves. If we flip over to the Trading Fives oscillator chart, and we'll put in EWW here. Let's go back and take a look at the weekly. And Mexico made a weekly low back in February, then ranged, and is now in an overbought condition at an extreme. So with Mexico, we would not want to be looking for a position now because it's already in the overbought zone at an extreme, but we would be putting EWW on the radar to look for a long position when the oscillator comes back down into the oversold zone, so long as it does not make a lower low than it did back in February. And the Ichimoku chart for Mexico, EWW, looks fairly promising. Price is clearly above the cloud, well above the Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen, with the Chiku line in the clear. So we'll be looking for EWW in the future, not today, to come back probably to the Kijun or the Tenkan-sen line for a possible positioning. But I think between the two of them, it's not often you get a chance to play one emerging market long and one short. And I think the contrast between EWW Mexico and EWZ Brazil is pretty clear. And we're going to be looking for trading opportunities in one or both of these markets.